Oh, I'm sorry, smoke?
Thank you.
Did,
Ever wondered which Hollywood legends struggled with smoking? Our countdown of the 35 worst nicotine addicts will reveal the shocking truth. Some of these stars might surprise you. Number 35, Joe DiMaggio. Imagine being one of the greatest baseball players of all time, yet battling a heavy smoking habit. Joe DiMaggio, the Yankee Clipper, wasn't just known for his 56-game hitting streak. His life took a dark turn with a battle against lung cancer. Joe DiMaggio was a famous baseball player who was a heavy smoker and even starred in cigarette advertisements during his career. The sporting star, who is widely considered to be one of the best baseball players of all time, spent 99 days in the hospital after surgery for lung cancer. He died of infections and pneumonia associated with the disease in 1999 at the age of 84. The Yankee Clipper had a major league record 56-game hitting streak in 1941 for the New York Yankees, was the husband of Marilyn Monroe, and starred in commercials for Mr. Coffee. DiMaggio made 11 All-Star teams and played in 10 World Series.
Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puffs, Frosted Flakes, Maple Loops.
I want Maple Lips. It's got oats and corn.
Number 34, Charlie Sheen. Known for his wild lifestyle and notorious behavior, Charlie Sheen once claimed to have the lungs of a non-smoker despite a 40-cigarette-a-day habit. His story took a twist when he faced the harsh reality of his addiction. He's the unashamed wild man of Hollywood who once boasted of having the lungs of a non-smoker, despite puffing on 40 cigarettes a day. Charlie Sheen occasionally even smokes during interviews. But Charlie Sheen was given some food for thought as he was confronted by the grisly reality of his nicotine habit. Appearing on the Dr. Oz television show, the former star of 2.5 Men was shown the stark contrast between the lungs of a healthy person and those of long-term tobacco user. While on tour in 2011, he was even threatened with a $100,000 fine by Maisie Hall for Sheen smoking on stage. They said they could be fined by the city.
I couldn't sleep. It was a little hot.
Number 33, Eva Longoria. Picture this. A glamorous actress desperately trying to hide her smoking habit from the paparazzi. Eva Longoria's secret isn't so secret anymore as she's often caught lighting up. Eva Longoria didn't look too happy to be photographed out smoking in Puerto Rico over the weekend. Longoria was attending the wedding of her friend, actress Rosalind Sanchez, on the Caribbean island. Desperate Housewives actress Eva Longoria is regularly spotted smoking in her car around Los Angeles. She often tries to hide her bad habit, but the paparazzi catch her smoking anyway.
Well, you know, I would have to check my files. I can't recall exactly the,
Number 32, Sigourney Weaver. This sci-fi queen isn't just battling aliens on screen. Sigourney Weaver's smoking habit has been as prominent as her blockbuster roles, revealing a less glamorous side of stardom. The popular actress has proven to be one of the celebrities who smoke a lot, on and off screen. After a walk-on in Woody Allen's Annie Hall, Weaver made her motion picture debut in Ridley Scott's 1979 blockbuster Alien. She later reprised the role of Warrant Officer Ripley in James Cameron's 1986 Aliens. Her performance earned her Academy Award and Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress.
That was amazing how that worked.
Yeah, perfect.
Straight?
See, straight.
Number 31, Christy Turlington. From supermodel to anti-smoking activist, Christy Turlington's journey from a pack-a-day smoker to a health advocate is both inspiring and cautionary. This supermodel is one of Glamour's 2013 Women of the Year. She's famous for her work with Calvin Klein and Maybelline. Although only 31 years old, model Christy Turlington was diagnosed with early-stage emphysema after undergoing a lung scan in New York. She smoked up to a pack of cigarettes a day between the ages of 13 and 26. According to Turlington, the really frightening thing is, there was enough of an effect from my smoking that it caused permanent damage. Christy, whose father died of lung cancer, also says, "Everyone knows the health consequences at this point. What people fail to acknowledge is their addiction. People think they can stop anytime, that it's easy. It's not. I know that kids are influenced by what they see in movies, videos, and TV because I've seen and heard testimonials stating such, that Smoking makes them look grown up and that they won't become addicted, that they can quit before it's dangerous. It is better to not even try it than to endure the ramifications of either quitting or dying. Lung cancer kills over 150,000 people in the United States alone per year. Like Christy's father, 85% of patients are diagnosed too late for surgery, and they generally survive only 6 to 15 months. Christy has managed after a long battle to quit smoking. According to Christy, her father quit also, but a few months before he died. She's now an anti-smoking activist. Since her diagnosis, Turlington has competed in 4 marathons and written a book about practicing yoga.
I went to Drama Centre London. I dropped out after the Christmas show.
Number 30, Michael Fassbender. Known for his intense roles, Michael Fassbender's off-screen habit of hand-rolling cigarettes is a stark contrast to his action-packed characters. Michael Fassbender is regularly photographed smoking cigarettes. The action star is known to hand-roll his cigarettes and carries around a pouch of tobacco, with no apparent plans to quit. Fassbender first came to fame for his role as a Spartan soldier in the 2006 film 300. But something tells us that there probably weren't many Spartans loitering around smoking cigarettes. Since his debut, he's landed roles in several other major films, including Prometheus, Steve Jobs, and the HBO series Band of Brothers.
Thank you, Foreign Press. I can't believe this. And I'd like to thank 20th Century Fox.
Number 29, Melanie Griffith. Despite her Hollywood lineage, Melanie Griffith's smoking habit is well documented, including a surprising reaction when she discovered her daughter had picked up the same vice. Melanie Griffith is regularly spotted smoking around Los Angeles. In 2016, she was seen smoking while out with her son in Aspen. Melanie Griffith has an amusing reaction to find out that her daughter smoked cigarettes. This is largely because of the fact that Melanie Griffith is a major smoker as well. While speaking during a past interview, Dakota Johnson talked about the time her mother, Melanie Griffith, found out she smoked cigarettes. The incident took place when Dakota Johnson was just 15 years old.
I want to take a moment to apologize for an insensitive and ill-conceived remark.
Number 28, Don Imus, the shock jock of radio. Don Imus's controversial career was marred by excessive smoking, contributing to his numerous health issues and eventual demise. A high school dropout and former Marine Corps bugler, Imus gained fame hosting the morning show at WNBC Radio in New York. However, despite his overwhelming popularity, Imus's erratic behavior, much of it from excessive drinking, and controversial statements as a shock jock landed him in hot water with management. Don Imus wore an old cowboy hat as the confrontational radio host of Imus in the Morning, who shouted tasteless, obscene, sexist, homophobic, and even racist remarks about people in the news over more than 100 radio stations to become the shock jock of radio. His almost 50 years of broadcasting were frequently affected by his alcoholism, cigarette smoking, addiction to cocaine, various illnesses including prostate cancer, accidents, being fired several times, and several lawsuits and other legal problems. In the latter part of his career, his broadcasts were supported by more than $50 million a year of advertising, and he was paid more than $1 million a year. In 2009, he was diagnosed with localized prostate cancer and treated with watchful waiting. He suffered from serious lung damage called emphysema, most likely from his smoking. On December 24, 2019, he was hospitalized at Baylor Scott and White Medical Center in College Station, Texas, and died 3 days later at age 79, most likely from pneumonia or heart failure. Men with prostate cancer rarely die from that disease.
I could use a drink myself. You want to ask me?
Number 27, Bert Lancaster. Imagine being a Hollywood legend with a smoking habit that led to severe health problems. Bert Lancaster's journey from heartthrob to health struggles is a cautionary tale. Famed for roles in From Here to Eternity in 1953, The Sweet Smell of Success in 1957, and Elmer Gantry in 1960, Bert Lancaster offered a lot to Hollywood. Sadly, he suffered from a number of serious health issues, in part due to his smoking habit. Developing heart disease, which may have been worsened by his smoking, Lancaster suffered from a stroke that left him partially paralyzed in 1990.
You can't smoke enough.
Bad for your health.
Bad for your health. I'm just
Number
smoking
26, Jude Law. The once hottest bachelor in Hollywood, Jude Law's smoking habit has added to his midlife crisis, making him look more like an unpaid extra rather than a leading man. Jude Law is regularly seen smoking in films and in real life. He was spotted in 2015 smoking in papal robes while on the set of the TV series the young pope. Jude Law was once considered Hollywood's hottest bachelor, but lately, he's looking more like an unpaid extra. Friends close to Jude have noticed him growing increasingly unhappy and disheveled as he struggles with a midlife crisis.
Madam, I see you're looking at my hands. Would you like me to tell you the little story of left hand and right
Number
hand?
25, Robert Mitchum. Hollywood's epitome of cool. Robert Mitchum's heavy smoking not only defined his persona, but also led to serious health complications later in life. Whether playing the part of a cowboy, soldier, private detective, or bad guy, Robert Mitchum was the personification of cool during Hollywood's golden era. His only Academy Award nomination came from the story of G.I. Joe in 1946. Mitchum was also an excellent singer, with 2 well-received albums to his credit. Robert Mitchum told Roger Ebert he smoked so much that when the camera was rolling, Kirk Douglas offered him a pack and asked, "Cigarette?" Mitchum, realizing he carried a cigarette into the scene, held up his fingers and replied, "Smoking." His improvisation saved the take, and they kept it in the movie. A lifelong heavy smoker, Mitchum died in his sleep at 5 a.m. on July 1st, 1997, at his home in Santa Barbara, California, from complications of lung cancer and emphysema. His wife of 57 years, Dorothy, was by his side.
I'd like a plain omelet, no potatoes, tomatoes instead, a cup of coffee, and...
Number 24, Jack Nicholson. The iconic Jack Nicholson's fear of what smoking might do to his body hasn't stopped him from maintaining a pack-a-day habit for most of his life. The famous retired actor was seen at many public events, always showing his fondness for smoking. Hollywood legend Jack Nicholson is said to have smoked a pack of cigarettes a day for most of his life. Now, the icon is admitting that he's worried his smoking habit may cause his health to falter. Jack, who faces his own mortality in the movie The Bucket List, told the Los Angeles Times that he knows smoking is stupid and fears what it may have done to his body. It is not so much that you fear that moment when somebody comes in and says, "That's it, you're dead, you smoke too much," says Jack. Well, that's not the real fear. The real fear is going through now the process and thinking, "I'm dying of stupidity."
Even sugar like a kid. Well, they whip kids to teach them better. They what?
Number 23, John Wayne. Known for his rugged roles, John Wayne's 6-pack-a-day habit led to severe health issues and ultimately his demise. His story is a stark reminder of smoking's dangers. Oscar-winning actor John Wayne was well known not only for his many starring roles, but also as a heavy smoker, reportedly smoking more than 6 packs a day. Marion Robert Morrison was a prop boy at Fox Studios in Hollywood. When stuntmen refused to jump in the ocean for one scene, director John Ford asked Morrison if he'd fill in. Most known for his westerns, Wayne played a variety of roles in everything from war movies to romantic leads. He made more than 200 films. A heavy smoker, Wayne had most of his left lung removed in 1964, died of complications from stomach cancer 15 years later. He was 72.
All right.
Number 22, Heather Locklear. The glamorous Heather Locklear has been a smoker for decades, often seen lighting up despite the health risks. Her habit has been a constant in her life. Heather Dean Locklear, born September 25, 1961, is an American actress famous for her role as Amanda Woodward on Melrose Place, 1993 to 1999, for which she received 4 consecutive Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress television series drama. She is also known for her role as Sammy Jo Carrington on Dynasty from 1981 to 1989, her first major television role, which began a long-time collaboration with producer Aaron Spelling. Heather Locklear has been smoking for decades. She's often spotted lighting up.
Kate has that quality of child woman thing.
Number 21, Kate Moss. Despite her wellness guru persona, Kate Moss's occasional smoking habit is a lingering vice. Her struggle to quit reflects the grip of nicotine addiction. Model Kate Moss has been synonymous with smoking for decades. She's often spotted smoking and infamously smoked a cigarette while walking down the runway in the Louis Vuitton show at Paris Fashion Week in 2011. With her hard partying days behind her, Kate Moss may have ditched her party girl persona in favor of her status as a crystal-loving wellness guru, but she's still not ready to fully give up smoking. "I still smoke occasionally," the supermodel told the Sunday Times in a new interview published over the weekend. "I've heard that when you stop, you can really tell by your skin, but I haven't stopped yet."
2 songs. We close with Stephen Wright's Stand.
Number 20, Johnny Carson. The legendary host's lifelong smoking habit was evident on screen and contributed to his death from emphysema. Johnny Carson's story is a cautionary tale of addiction. The iconic host of The Tonight Show began smoking cigarettes while serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II. He never kicked the habit. After the war, Carson landed a job as a writer for Red Skelton in Hollywood. When Jack Parr vacated his late-night TV show in 1962, Carson took over and dominated the ratings for 3 decades until his retirement in 1992. He died in 2005 from respiratory failure due to emphysema. Carson's smoking habit was at least partly to blame. Emphysema, a debilitating and cruel lung disease, is closely linked to smoking, and Mr. Carson, we are told by the AP, was a heavy smoker during his Tonight Show days, wielding a cigarette as a prop on air until smoking on television passed out of favor.
Certainly. $10,000.
Will there be much red tape or delay?
Number 19. Vincent Price. Known for his iconic horror roles, Vincent Price's lifelong smoking habit contributed to his battle with emphysema and lung cancer, leading to his death in 1993. Vincent Price, best known for his roles in a string of cheesy horror movies and thriller movies, made a famous cameo appearance in Michael Jackson's Thriller video. His role in the 1953 film House of Wax cemented his reputation as a villain. Price was a lifelong smoker who suffered from emphysema for many years, eventually dying of lung cancer on October 25th, 1993. Number 18.
Business when they had the eyes of the whole wide world. But that wasn't good enough for them.
The silent film star who lived a life of glamour and luxury. Gloria Swanson's smoking habit was a stark contrast to her health food advocacy. Gloria Swanson, the shy little girl from Chicago, who began learning about the movies when the movies were still learning about themselves, and went on to become a one-woman constellation in the Hollywood skies of the 1920s. During the golden age of silent films, Miss Swanson was never out of the top 3 in box office popularity. She was an enchantress personified. She was married to a French nobleman, commanded a 6-figure salary, and moved between mansions and penthouses in America and Europe amid a retinue of servants and sycophants. She'd been admitted to the Manhattan Hospital on March 20th for treatment of what friends said was a minor heart attack, and was either 86 or 84 when she died early in her sleep in a New York hospital. Swanson was a health food crusader, but she still smoked heavily, but the devastating medical studies outlining the negative effects of tobacco smoke were still not fully realized.
He basically set the stage for all entertainers that came after.
Number 17. Al Jolson, the world's greatest entertainer. Al Jolson's constant cigarette in hand was typical of his era, but it also contributed to his later health issues. Al Jolson was a Lithuanian-born American singer, actor, and vaudevillian. He was one of the United States' most famous and highest-paid stars of the 1920s, and was self-billed as the world's greatest entertainer. There are hundreds of photos of Jolson with a cigarette. Most are candid shots, not studio-style portraits. At a mic or just mugging for a camera, the cigarette seems always there. I never counted the number of pics, but it is a staggering number. A man of his era, there was nothing much unusual in that. Until the late 1950s, most Americans had no clue as to the danger of cigarettes, while the American tobacco ad agencies did their very best to churn out their filth. Just look at any magazine of that era, or listen to the Chesterfield jingle sung by Bing on some of his radio programs, on which Al guested, by the way.
Because I got a reputation for being a dangerous man.
Number 16. Paul Newman. Despite quitting smoking 30 years before his death, Paul Newman's early years of heavy smoking contributed to his battle with lung cancer at age 83. Paul Newman died of lung cancer at the age of 83. Newman, who used to be a heavy smoker until 30 years ago, had been receiving treatment for lung cancer when he was last seen a few months ago in a wheelchair out of the Weill Cornell Medical Center in New York. Newman's early film career was during a period when cigarette smoking in movies portrayed virility, sex appeal, and sophistication. He once said he was amazed he had survived all that booze, smoking, and car racing.
That is illogical, Ensign. Odors cannot travel through the vacuum of space.
Number 15. Leonard Nimoy. The beloved Spock from Star Trek. Leonard Nimoy's decades-long smoking habit led to his diagnosis of COPD, disease that claimed his life in 2015. Nimoy knew as a teen that he wanted to become an actor. To follow those dreams, he spent time in the Army, sold vacuum cleaners, and worked at an ice cream shop. His big break came in 1966 when he landed the role of Spock in Star Trek. Even though the series lasted just 3 seasons, Nimoy went on to play Spock in movies and television sequels for more than 4 decades. Leonard smoked for 37 years. He tried unsuccessfully to quit several times, but was deeply addicted to nicotine. It took the birth of Leonard's first grandson in 1985 to make him quit for good. Julie told Leonard he could not smoke around the baby because the secondhand smoke was too dangerous. In 2014, Nimoy revealed he had COPD. He died a year later at age 83.
Look at your eyes.
What's wrong with my eyes?
Well, they're red. Bloodshot.
Number 14, Lee Marvin. A tough guy on screen and off. Lee Marvin's heavy smoking and drinking caught up with him, leading to severe respiratory issues later in life. Lee Marvin was a mainstay of cinema and television throughout the 1950s and 60s, known for his portrayal of villains and tough guys. He was a recognizable figure in everything he appeared in. But many might not realize is that he served in the U.S. Marine Corps prior to embarking on his Hollywood career. In fact, he participated in numerous assaults in the Pacific Theater. A heavy smoker and drinker, Marvin had health problems by the end of his life. December 1986, Marvin was hospitalized for more than 2 weeks because of a condition related to coccidioidomycosis. He went into respiratory distress and was administered steroids to help his breathing.
What did I tell you fellas about shooting?
Aim small, miss small.
Aim small, miss small.
Number 13. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's on and off battle with smoking has been a constant struggle. His addiction started early, making it a lifelong challenge to quit. Mel Gibson quit smoking back in 2010, a time he called hellish. But by 2012, he was spotted smoking cigarettes again. Mel Gibson has admitted that his smoking addiction has taken over his life in recent years. The Edge of Darkness actor blamed his mother for his hellish habit, according to Showbiz Spy. There's no more fun things left. I just don't do anything fun anymore. But that's dying, isn't it? I mean, you die in stages. You let things go in pieces. It's mostly over halfway through, he is quoted as saying. It is a hellish habit to break. Your neurons are involved. My mother smoked when I was in her womb. First had one when I was 9 years old and I thought, yes, I missed this. I knew I missed it. He added, and 45 years later, after every single artistic decision, every decision I never made was done with a cigarette. To not have that is pretty hectic. It's worse than crawling the walls, which I did for a while.
The service just automatically continued. Not that I haven't the time with the children away.
Number 12, Jane Wyman. Despite her glamorous career, Jane Wyman's lifelong smoking habit contributed to her health decline, showcasing the hidden struggles behind Hollywood's golden facade. Her Best Actress Oscar for Johnny Belinda in 1948 makes her the only wife of a future U.S. President, Ronald Reagan, ever to win such an award. She smiles when she talks, chews, even when she takes a hard drag on one of the low-tar cigarettes she chain smokes. Jane Wyman was a heavy smoker, but Angela Channing, her Falcon Crest character, never smoked. Wyman was a recluse and made only a few public appearances in her last years, in part due to suffering from arthritis. Wyman also suffered from type 1 diabetes from a very young age. Jane knows she has serious medical problems, but she seems to do nothing to help herself. She refuses to stop smoking, the insider says. On September 10th, 2007, Wyman died in her sleep of natural causes.
No, I don't like that rose.
Number 11, Kate Winslet. The Titanic star's smoking habit began on set and continued throughout her career, despite her attempts to keep it hidden from her children. Kate Winslet admitted to smoking in a 2008 interview with Vanity Fair. I don't smoke around my kids. Like, that makes it any better that I smoke at all, because obviously it doesn't. But I don't smoke in the house. I mean, I had a cigarette this morning, which is because I hadn't been. Fee and a cigarette. Bingo. I'm not sure if you want to print that. The Titanic actress Kate Winslet once made headlines for her habit of smoking. According to reports, she first started smoking on the sets of Sense and Sensibility. Enjoying the process of rolling her own cigarettes, Kate Winslet addressed her habit of smoking.
Sign this, will it?
Hello, stupid.
Are you married?
No, and I know the next answer. I don't
Number
live with
10.
my...
Barbara Stanwick. A smoker since childhood, Barbara Stanwick's heavy smoking habit led to her death from heart failure and COPD, despite her illustrious Hollywood career. Notable for her role as the head of the wealthy Barkley family from the TV show The Big Valley, Stanwick made 85 films during a 38-year career. She earned 4 Academy Award nominations and won an honorary Oscar in 1982. She's a 3-time Emmy winner, and the American Film Institute presented Stanwick with a Lifetime Achievement Award in 1987. A smoker since she was 9, she died of heart failure and COPD in 1990 at the age of 82.
Now there's Janet McKenzie. We'll get her that new hearing aid. We'll get you a new one of these.
Number 9, Tyrone Power. From a swashbuckling star to a tragic end, Tyrone Power's 3 to 4 pack a day habit was a key factor in his early death at just 44. Tyrone Power was one of the great romantic swashbuckling stars of the mid-20th century, and the third Tyrone Power of 4 in a famed acting dynasty reaching back to the 18th century. His great-grandfather was the first Tyrone Power, 1795 to 1841, a famed Irish comedian. His father, known to historians as Tyrone Power Sr., but to his contemporaries as either Tyrone Power or Tyrone Power the Younger, was a huge star in the theater and later in films, in both classical and modern roles. His mother, Helen Emma Patia, née Reanume, Mrs. Tyrone Power, was also a Shakespearean actress as well as a respected dramatic coach. At the time of his death, Power was a major in the United States Marine Corps Reserves, appears on the album jacket of the Beatles' album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. He smoked 3 to 4 packs of cigarettes a day, plus several bowlfuls of pipe tobacco.
Yeah, I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop up and see how you were making out.
Number 8. Steve McQueen, the king of cool. Steve McQueen's 2-pack-a-day habit and exposure to asbestos led to his untimely death from mesothelioma at age 50. Famous for bad boy roles in a series of hit movies, including The Great Escape and Bullet and The Magnificent Seven. The blue-collar, man-of-action star McQueen was a 2-pack-a-day smoker, had mesothelioma in 1980. He died during surgery to remove a tumor on his right lung. He was 50.
I found it.
Step on it again, it's still breathing.
I'm terrible.
Number 7. Marlene Dietrich, an icon of sophistication. Marlene Dietrich's smoking habit was as much part of her persona as her on-screen roles, challenging traditional gender roles with every puff. Marlene Dietrich was known for her distinctive style and elegant persona, including her smoking habits. She smoked on-screen and off-screen and was often depicted with a cigarette in hand in images and photographs. Her smoking style was sophisticated and glamorous, becoming an iconic part of her image. Many of her films, such as Morocco and Destry Rides Again, she was seen smoking, relaxed and confident, which only added to her allure and mystique. Dietrich smoking was seen as a symbol of rebellion, a way of challenging traditional gender roles and expectations. She often used smoking as a way to assert her independence and assert her control over her image and her life. Her smoking was part of her public persona and helped shape how audiences around the world perceived her.
Cooties I can handle.
Number 6. Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman's battle with nicotine addiction not only affected her career, but also her self-esteem, showcasing the struggle many celebrities face with smoking. Uma Thurman has spoken about her experience of being addicted to nicotine. The Kill Bill star says that she missed out on leading roles because smoking made her unfit. "I used to smoke so much that I got winded if I did any exercise." She is quoted by the Daily Star as saying, "I was never rippled and toned like a lot of my colleagues." That makes you incredibly depressed and full of self-loathing. So thank goodness I've unhooked myself from the slavery of nicotine. Uma Thurman said in 2008 she finally quit smoking after years of being addicted. However, she was spotted smoking in 2017.
You really should give up the profession entirely as a matter of principle.
Number 5. Richard Boone. Known for his tough guy roles, Richard Boone's long-term smoking habit led to his death at 63, highlighting the dangers of nicotine addiction. Known for his role as Paladin in the television series Have Gun, Will Travel, celebrated actor Richard Boone passed away on January 10, 1981, at the age of 63. Boone's cause of death was directly linked to his long-term smoking habit, and this time, he was not only one of the many actors who smoked cigarettes, but was a heavy smoker for many years until his addiction eventually caught up with him.
It's electronic. It delivers the same amount of nicotine, but the smoke is water vapor. Yeah.
Number 4. Johnny Depp. The enigmatic Johnny Depp's smoking habit is no secret. Despite attempts to quit, his addiction remains, making him one of Hollywood's most famous smokers. A celebrated actor and musician, has been a smoker for many years and does not keep this vice of his a secret. Compared to the other diagnosis unofficially given to him, ADHD, and mental illnesses among the many celebrities with depression, Depp's smoking habit is official, as he has been photographed in the act on numerous occasions, both on and off set. However, the actor has also been known to be health conscious and has made attempts to quit smoking in the past. In 2011, he announced that he had quit smoking, but later admitted that he had started again, which definitely puts him on our list of the most famous heavy smokers in Hollywood.
Today, on behalf of my mentor, my friend, my leader, and my managing partner, Chris.
Number 3. Chris Schenkel, the voice of ABC Sports. Chris Schenkel's smoking habit led to emphysema, cutting his illustrious career short and serving as a reminder of smoking's impact. After attending Purdue and serving in World War II, Indiana-born sportscaster did play-by-play for Harvard University, then went on to work for CBS television in 1952 as the voice of the New York Giants football team. In 1965, Schenkel began a long-standing relationship with ABC Sports. He called the first live broadcast of the Masters, had served as studio host of the 68 and 72 Olympics. You might know him best for his 36-year run as the voice of ABC's coverage of professional bowling. Schenkel died of emphysema in 2005.
I feel like something that's been on sale in a bargain basement. I'm one big bruise from here to here.
Ain't it rugged? But you
Number 2. Joan Crawford. Hollywood icon, Joan Crawford's smoking habit was part of her glamorous image, but it also contributed to her battle with pancreatic cancer. She was one of Hollywood's top stars of the 1930s, earning an Oscar for her lead role in 1945's Mildred Pierce. Later became known for the horror classic Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and was the subject of the memoir Mommy Dearest. She died on May 10, 1977 in New York City. Crawford died of pancreatic cancer on May 10, 1977, aged 72. She employed smoking as a gesture of glamour. Reputed, Joan would never smoke a cigarette unless she opened the pack herself. Joan Crawford endorsed 5 cigarette brands during her career. Number 1. Gene Kelly, the king of movie musicals. Gene Kelly's smoking habit was legendary, but it took a toll on his health, serving as a poignant reminder of the dangers of smoking. With such classic movie musicals as Singin' in the Rain, Anchors Away, On the Town, and An American in Paris, Gene Kelly came to symbolize American post-war optimism. In a t-shirt and khakis, he brought a muscular athleticism to dance, worlds apart from the top hat, white tie, and tails elegance of Fred Astaire. It's worth the rental price just to watch the scene where Gene Kelly dips a woman, swallows his cigarette for a kiss, then chews it back up to exhale the smoke. It's the true test of a leading man, and you can make blowing smoke into a woman's face into something hilariously funny. He pitches the comedy to the point where you can get all the Barrymore and Fairbanks in jokes and still enjoy him as a sexy lead in his own right. Did you really smoke cigarettes, or was that just pretend? Aaron Walsh, a boy from Belfast, Ireland, asked Gene Kelly in an interview in 1991. Yes, I really smoked. We really didn't know what cigarettes could cause in those days. I'm lucky now because I stopped 20 years ago. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this countdown, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating Hollywood stories. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated. Check out our other videos for more intriguing content. See you next time.